I'm afraid that this level of behavior will impact our reputation as leaders in our community.
Okay, now,
I'm
okay.
afraid
So
that
see,
like
no, you're bullshitting me
no,
right
and
now. I'm asking you to
then
stop bullshitting me.
I'm afraid that he's going to abandon me. Like I'm
There
afraid that
we
he's
go. Thank you. Like, don't play that high
no,
level.
it's no,
Our
it's
relationship in
both.
the our reputation in the community is
No,
upstanding political and
no,
civic leaders.
no, but it's both. But it's both. Like
I want to focus on that part right there. That's all we need to focus on because the truth is always simple. Your actual fear is that he is going to dip on you for another woman. And if you're a deeply jealous person, it's not even that he's going to dip on you, is that he's giving something to someone else that you think could be yours or belongs to you.
100%.
And that
Yeah.
second category is deeply evil and wicked.
What?
That's evil and wicked right there.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Is your man a good man? And you can say if
Yes.
he's not, it's fine.
Yes.
He is a good man,
100%.
has something to offer.
He changed my life. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so he did good things for you.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
It's in that case, it's almost a crime that you wouldn't allow him to do something good for another good woman. Do you believe that there may be other good women out there who might benefit from your man?
Yes.
Okay, but you would deny him from delivering that goodness to them, and you would deny them from receiving that goodness because of jealousy.
No, I would love for him to be that person, just not if it requires me being replaced.
But the second category wasn't about you being replaced. The second
Yes, it
category was about
was.
you allowing him to give something to someone else that you think should be yours.
Well, what I believe is mine is a certain position in his life.
You, my love, have a lot of variables, and you're going to have even more because you're not a submissive woman. In your current state, you are not submissive.
How can you say that? I've
Because
literally
I've
followed
seen the
his.
world spin a lot. I've seen the world spin a lot. I'll give you an example. During our conversation, have you cut me off at all?
Probably.
Right. Several times, which doesn't
Yeah.
offend me at all. I will always yield the floor in a conversation such as this because I want to listen to you. And the position of a leader is to listen because when you listen, you can learn. But I know women who would never cut me off, ever, under any circumstance, because they respect me too much to cut me off. They would
I
never. And
apologize.
it's not me that you know as Marquette Devon Burton. It's just me as a man, right? And so at
Yes.
some level, the way you interact with me is a representation of how you regard men. So the fact that you would overtalk me is an indication of something.
I apologize in advance. I This is a habit I have, a lifelong habit of. It's not even I do this with mom, dad, but like it is my mind when you talk about thinking and overthinking, sometimes the thoughts in my mind and my mouth just kind of bloop, and I lack discipline in that. It is not because I'm not trying, and I deeply apologize for talking over you. When I get excited and I want to say what I want to say, I kind of just bloop, 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 and that's just a problem I have. So it would have happened if it was you or the president, to be honest.
Right. And that's precisely the challenge because you don't, it's not necessary to overtalk me. You certainly don't overtalk the president. So just the idea that there's no differentiation in terms of hierarchy. You're not respecting people based on hierarchy. You could never be a woman who's really going to serve because you don't respect your man here to discipline your mouth, right? If you can't discipline your mouth, and well, where does that come from? That
Wait,
comes from parenting and upbringing. You see, like, for example, if you would have cut off my mother or my father or my grandmother, they would not spoil the rod. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Do you know that biblical reference? Spare the rod, spoil the child, which is to say, you would have got your ass whooped just for cutting them off. So you would have learned really quickly in young age. You cut me off, wah, and that's teaching you. If you don't feel the respect, you're gonna feel it the hard way. And at age 31, it's a bit late in life to just either A, think you're going to change, or B, resign yourself to it just is what it is. It's like, no, being disrespectful, that's not what it is.
I again, it's a okay. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize to me. I'm not offended at all. In fact, I get cut off in the public every now and then by strangers all the time. It doesn't offend me because it has no impact on my life. And when people cut me off, I just listen, because frankly, I don't feel so prideful or egotistical that I feel like I need to constantly be talking.
Yeah.
I'm just responding to what you've presented.
Okay.
Now, one thing that I think is curious is the ability to discipline the body, but not discipline the mind and the thinking. You see, I think your challenge is that your thoughts are not in control. You have too many of the thoughts; they're completely running wild. And as a result, when I try to communicate with you, we're not having a linear conversation because you end up talking in stream of consciousness, like not actually answering what I'm asking you. And for males, that's quite hard to deal with and to manage or lead.
Okay. I received that.
That's brilliant. Okay, so in summary, you want to be with this gentleman. It appears he does not want to be with you, and you have no idea as to why he does not want to be with you.
No, it's probably because, yeah, maybe I'm all over the place. May I get off now?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It was a pleasure to meet you. Wishing you well.
Take care. Thank you for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. Gentlemen, to those of you who are watching and have been in the comments being insulting, remember, it is not a manly thing to insult a woman. You're just like sending random insults to a woman who's struggling through something, who's brave enough to be vulnerable. It's not a manly thing. Now, if she insulted you, if she insulted me, then, maybe, go at her. But what do you get from cyberbullying? What do you get from being negative? Remember, gentlemen, that when you're happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise, you feel good. You look good. So it doesn't really do anything for you to squash someone or to put someone else down. That's not what I teach at all. I teach positivity. I teach goodness. I teach wealth. I teach abundance. I teach being masculine. Putting a woman down. I mean, that's a weak target, right? It's not a worthy adversary. If you want to put somebody down that's your own size. So please be mature. I really do encourage you to be thoughtful and think before you speak. You can never be a leader when you're behaving in a childish way, goofing, being too freaking goofy. Anyway, Saints, I'll give you some time to send in your comments, questions as we wind down. If there's any other ladies that want to come on and get some ism or give some testimony, I'd be happy to give you a chance to do so. We might need to make a time because it really does seem that this is needed, and perhaps for the guys too, because you move your old lady into a home with your father, that's a recipe for disaster. Like on so many levels, that's a recipe for disaster.